darling. Okay.
How you doing?
Oh, it's been one meeting after another today. Relay is tomorrow, so.
Oh, wow.
That's going to be really interesting.
For sure. How is it going to work?
Well, it's on Zoom, and we have breakout rooms for activities every half hour. We're all together for opening ceremony and for Luminaria. And then we'll see.
Wow.
It's only 4
Wow.
hours. Okay.
Hi, everybody. We are talking Thanksgiving today, which is either an easy day for some of us and totally stressed out for others. I've been doing Thanksgiving for probably 47 years in a row for family, friends, everybody. I do my little thing like this, which tells, which gives me the people who are supposed to come, the menu, who brings what. I've got this going back years. I save one every year. They're all the same, except for the people and who's bringing what and all of that. But I'm going to talk a little bit about organization today, because I like doing this, where I list all of the people who are coming. I put everything out for what's happening. On the back, I put a shopping list. It gets to be sometimes it's pretty complicated. Sometimes it's not. The main thing that I find with lists like this for big parties is that it gets me out of my head and the steps onto a piece of paper. And that always helps me. And then after I do all of that, then I give myself permission to have all the bad things happen and everything will be fine, because all I have to do is point at the paper and say, you, sister of mine, go in and take care of that. Because I always have somebody in a large gathering, I always have somebody that I can call on and say, would you handle that? Would you
Where
do
is
that?
your poor sister?
She's supposed to come, but who knows? She might still be on the freeway. She's coming, but she's.
So you have the Dina list and the Kate list.
Well, I also enlist large people. Would you take the turkey out of the oven? Oh, you're the caveman. Great. You can carve the turkey. That kind of. And your deal is to take care of Uncle Orville and keep every young girl at that table. It's that kind of thing. You enlist people to help you out. I also do things like, okay, what do I do on this day? What can I do ahead of time? You can make pies ahead of time. You can also farm them out. You can do cranberries. You can, if you're making rolls, you can make rolls. You can farm those out too. What can you tell people to bring, and what can you do like 2 days ahead? You also want to make sure that if you've got like a frozen turkey, you've taken it out of the fridge in plenty of time to defrost.
Oh, yeah.
You don't, you want to, like I'm going to be taking out my 15-pound turkey. Let's see, I'm going to take it out of the freezer next Wednesday. And then I'm going to brine it. I'm going to dry brine it for 3 days starting Monday. So I've got, I kind of like back up so that nothing is a big surprise and I don't go, oh my God, the turkey is frozen and it's Wednesday. And tomorrow we've got, no, I don't do that. I mean, it's been done, believe me, but I don't do that now. Dry brining was a great thing that happened. I discovered it from the LA Times, and I want to talk a little bit about how to dry brine a turkey.
Good. I'm going to take notes.
Okay. Dry brine. Now, brining, I used to always brine a turkey, okay, which means you've got to find a vat. It's got to be filled with water, and then you've got to find someplace cold to keep this vat of water someplace. I hate that. It makes me crazy because, and carrying around, okay, you've got a 15-pound turkey or a 16-pound turkey, and then all of that water, it's ghastly. So it was a really nice day when I found out about dry brining. You use kosher salt, and for every 5 pounds, so I've got a 15-pound turkey, for every 5 pounds, you put in 3 tablespoons. I don't measure really well, but 3 tablespoons of salt. Any herbs that you may want to take, if you want to do lemon peel, you don't have to do the herbs, but I like them. And pepper. You mix this up. Maybe you'd like smoked paprika in it or something. It doesn't matter. And then for a whole 15-pound bird, you're going to use this much. You're also going to use a big bag, 2-gallon, something that the turkey can fit into. And I already checked, it will fit into this. It probably won't close carefully enough, so I'll put a shopping bag over the top of it. And then you're just salting a little bit on the inside. You're salting it on all sides of the turkey. You're putting the turkey into this bag. Now it's not, you don't have to have it completely defrosted, but you want the neck out of that cavity. You want to take the goodies out, but you're salting it up, you're throwing it in here, and you're putting it in the fridge for 3 days.
So 6 days altogether?
No, 3 days.
3 days for it to thaw in the refrigerator.
Right.
And then 3 more days to dry brine?
To dry brine.
So 6 days.
Yeah, 6. It depends on how big the turkey is. I probably will do it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I've got 4 days to let it thaw out. And then if it's not completely thawed out, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. You just put this on a little bit on the inside, a little bit on the outside, wrap it up, maybe double bag it. And then when you think about it, flip it over in the fridge. You know, I would put it also on a platter in case something leaked. But it doesn't weigh all of that. It's not all weighty, you know? It's not heavy. And it'll be wonderful. Now, brining will make your turkey cook faster. So you'll probably your turkey will probably be done in 2.5 to 3 hours. If you
With or without stuffing?
without stuffing. Oh, I never put stuffing in it.
I just always ask.
Yeah, I stuff it with a bunch of herbs, lemons, onions. That's what I
Apples.
stuff it with.
Apples.
Oh, apples too. Yeah, anything that will fill up that cavity. Garlic, what the
Right.
hell, you know. But I don't put the stuffing in because I'm scared. I was used to stuff it, but no, I put it into a separate container that will go in the fridge and then into the oven after the turkey comes out. Now I'm going to do some cranberries. Here's the cranberries.
So Kate, it doesn't bother it that you've got it in the fridge for 6 days before you cook it?
And you are taking it out of the bag the night before. I'm sorry, we'll go back to the turkey. Take it out, pat the skin dry, leave it open, leave it to the air, and put it back in the fridge. It'll be crispy.
Okay.
And by the way, don't worry about it spoiling, because salt is a preservative. Salt is always a preservative. That's why it was so valuable in Roman times.
Right.
So when you brine it, you are actually making it more likely that it will stay fresh. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm going to make a few cranberries. Cranberries are easy. And this is my sister's recipe, who is now coming. Yay. I'm making, well, let me do this. Hi, Dina.
Hello. Hi, Dina.
I'm making a cranberry recipe.
Hi, Carol.
I love cranberry sauce. So I've got a bag of cranberries, got a little bit, like a 1/4 cup of water, and that's on a few allspice, a cinnamon stick or 2 that I'm going to break up. Oh, well, that's interesting. Break it up. Some cloves, a few cloves. The recipe calls for 12. I never count them. And then you make it into a little bundle. Isn't that cute? Tie it up. And throw it in with the cranberries. And I'm going to put, the recipe says to put the sugar in later. I'm going to put it in now because I can. And that's basically it. Put the lid on. And I'm going to, and then I'll bring it to a boil and cook it for about 25 minutes. Makes a lovely sauce, right, Dina?
Yes.
So, oh, a little bit of nutmeg should go into. Okay. Those cranberries can be made way in advance, like 3 days. Do them the weekend before. All is well.
Kate, what did you use? What did you put what was the bundle made out of? What did you bundle it in?
Cheesecloth.
Cheesecloth. Okay. That's what I was guessing. Gotcha. Thank you.
And I got, several years ago, I got these freezer bags from Smart and Final, 50 bags. This was several years ago. I still have them. They're fine. And you can begin to hear them start popping. So you turn it down when they start popping. There you go. All right. So we've talked
If you
about
haven't made them before, make sure you put the lid on, guys.
Oh yeah, because otherwise your whole stove and the front of you is going to have these cute little red things all over. Lovely. Okay, so how do you do potatoes ahead of time? Mashed potatoes. When I had like 20 people, it was like this huge vat of potatoes, and it would take an hour to come to a boil, and timing was always bad, always. But so I just drained these not that long ago. This is a potato ricer. I would suggest that if you are doing a lot of potatoes, that a potato ricer is a good thing to have. But this is 25 bucks on Amazon. But if you don't want to do this, if you don't want to do the little one or any of that, just a plain old masher is mighty fine. And I'm just going to do it that way. And I'm going to mash the potatoes. I've got, hang on for 1 second.
I'm addicted to my mixer for this. I've got
Oh,
one of those
mixer. Yeah, you can
old
use your
mixers.
big mixer for it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that I found with the big mixer, now this is a problem. If you forget it or it goes too long, they get really gummy.
Mhm.
And that can be a problem. So I'm mashing these up. I boiled them in salted water. And now I'm not going to eat these for a while. So I want to make it so that I can just leave them and it will be okay. This is what I do. Heat up butter and milk. This is hot in the microwave. Tamp all of this down so that it's in a layer like that. Pour this over the top. Clap the lid on and leave it at the back of the stove, and it will stay hot and nice for a good hour. It'll work. It works every time. And then you get, remember that large person that I was talking about? You get a very large person who is a real He-Man, and you say, go for it. And then you need to beat that up really good. And he'll go over there and then you can say, oh, you did such a good job. Otherwise, you can dump it into a mixer and mix it up. But it's so much better to have a male person with strong arms, like Justin will do that. Okay, so the problem always is at Thanksgiving, what about vegetables that you like to make in, like roast, but you've got the friggin' turkey in there if you don't have 2 ovens? What do? Well, that's one of the things that you need to prepare for. And really think about. If your oven is busy, what are you going to put in there? How can you fix stuff that you already like, but they're not going to fit in the oven? You're going to have stuffing in the oven, the container of stuffing. You're going to probably need to heat up some rolls. What do you do about those vegetables, like, say, Brussels sprouts that you like roasted, but you can't roast them? Now, you can always make them ahead of time, but how far ahead are you going to be able to make them when the damn turkey's in there for 30 minutes? Or 3 hours. 3 hours, not 30 minutes. So here's how I do Brussels sprouts in a pan. Clean them off. I've already trimmed these and cut them in half. It works really well, even if you don't have big ones like these are. I usually use shallots for this, just because they have a very mild taste and they sort of are a mix between onions and garlic. But you want to chop up some shallot. What are you laughing at?
Joni,
I can't keep my,
thing is how mine won't leave me alone right now.
sweet.
And then you put a little bit of olive oil, not much, a little bit of butter into the pan. What you're going to do is saute the shallot just a little bit and put these, Brussels sprouts down onto the pan. Pour a little bit of wine, clap the lid on, and it's lovely. It's lovely. And then at the end, just because you like it, Carrie,
balsamic vinegar.
before you serve them. Sauteing them just for a little while, because they're going to saute for a while anyway. I need my glass of wine.
Do you pour the wine in the Brussels sprouts or do you pour the wine in your glass or both?
Oh,
Thanks, you know me.
Of course. I just want a clarification.
Uh-huh.
that's how I usually do Brussels sprouts, is just do them in a skillet on the stove with the wine and throw the lid on and all good.
Right. Though I really like them roasted in the oven. I really like them like that. So that's what they look like going in. Toss a little bit of wine in them. No, wrong lid. Slap the lid on. They're done. You just don't want to forget them. And then they'll be a little bit brown on the bottom. They'll caramelize a little bit. It's an easy, wonderful way. And honestly, that's the way I do the green beans as well. Only I boiled the green beans ahead of time. I do this ahead of time, like an hour or two ahead of time. Rinse them with cold water so that they stop cooking. When it comes time to actually cook them, you do the same sort of business with the shallot and butter, and or you can do garlic, or you can add something like almonds, sliced almonds to it. Again, it's all how you want to do it. It's beginning to, that's what they look like. It's beginning to smell delightful. And I'll turn that down. But the main thing to do is to look for ways, at least for me, is to look for ways where things can be made either in advance or delegated somewhere else, someone else. And when you go over your list ahead of time, you know, I would say never have somebody who comes late be in charge of bringing the hors d'oeuvres. Just don't do that. Have them bring the dessert. But for the most part, give them the stuff that you don't want to do. Like, I find salad annoying, so somebody else can do the salad. But that's just me. Other people really love making salads. Or some years I make homemade bread. Well, I don't necessarily, you know, that's also, the rolls are something that somebody would really like to bring. What did I do with the butter? The butter's here. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, it's right here. A little bit of olive oil. A little bit of butter. And this can be done really quite fast, right before you're ready to eat it. But, you know, figure out as long as you've got it sort of written down, sort of in your head, how many people, it all kind of, and once you do it, and, you know, it doesn't really matter because all of these are people that you love.
Ah,
Remember the year that Dad fell and we had to take him to the
Yep.
emergency? He fell walking up the steps and he broke his nose.
Oh my
And
God.
we had to take him to emergency. And my mom didn't want to go by herself. So I went with Mom. And Dina, you took over the dinner.
Mhm.
So
My very first Thanksgiving that I cooked for myself, my first Thanksgiving in California. I was 20 years old. And I decided I was going to cook Thanksgiving dinner for all of my friends. And there were like 15 of us. And so I did all my research. I'm a vegetarian, by the way, at this point in my life, but I did all my research. I did black bean and ginger turkey. I did got everything on the table. It was beautiful. We lit the candles. We took pictures. I reached across the table and I set myself on fire.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh.
okay.
Oh no.
Did you have to go to the hospital?
I was okay. but I was wearing a lace dress and I reached over and it just engulfed my arm in flames and we put me out and I cried because it was so stressful.
Oh, oh.
Got down to a lovely meal and it was really nice.
Oh, that's funny.
Everybody has those stories.
Yeah.
There was someone that I know who shall remain nameless, and it's not Dina, who made a Christmas dinner one year with ham. And it was the first time she'd ever made a ham. And she didn't take the wrapper.
Oh my God.
I I'm sitting there trying so hard to not laugh because she was so upset. She was so upset. And if it were you, Dina, I wouldn't ever laugh.
You would have laughed out loud.
I would
Pointed.
have howled.
No, she would have gotten a pair of kitchen shears and just taken
Well,
it off.
Yeah, that too.
I don't think she would have. Because,
No, you would have if it had been Dina.
oh, it's true. It's true. I would have just gotten the scissors and said, "What were you thinking, girl?"
No,
And
you
pointed
wouldn't have
and
said
laughed.
anything, but you would have given her trouble for the next 6 months.
Or how about
For
16
years.
But the main thing I think that's important to get is no matter what happens, people are going to have a good time. And no matter what happens, drunken Uncle Orville is going to be an ass. So you
No
need
matter
to
what.
make sure, no matter what. So you need to make sure that drunken Uncle Orville has a keeper, and you arrange for that ahead of time. Things are going to go haywire. They're always going to go haywire, and it doesn't make any difference. You're just going to have a lovely time with your family, with your friends, and all is going to be well. As long as you just say that, it'll come true. And then you get somebody really kind and nice to say the thank you prayer at the beginning of dinner, And then if you burn something, make sure that there's frozen corn in there so that you can zap it really fast.
Right?
Or if you get a whole bunch of little kids who won't eat green beans and won't eat Brussels sprouts, that corn will come in handy. It's all it's all good. And I just, like I said, Thanksgiving for me is my favorite holiday ever. And because I just love having people over and a big holiday party where I don't have to worry about presents or cards or any of that shit. So what about you, Carol? What about your Thanksgivings?
Well, I'm cooking and I have, I make in advance, I make the vegetables. I've got a green bean recipe and I've got a yam recipe, but it's got not sweet potatoes. It's got orange juice and no marshmallows, nothing like that. Orange juice and a sauce over it that has a little bit of sherry on it. And you
Nice.
bake that whole thing.
Sounds good.
Wonderful. It really is good. And I do my potatoes in the mixer. It's the easy way to do it.
Yeah.
The thing about Thanksgiving is you can stage it. You know, you
Yeah.
can do some things done really early in the morning. Midday, I start looking at the turkey and think, okay, it's about time for you to get ready. And the hardest part I found is making sure everything's defrosted in that damn turkey.
Right. On Sunday, that's why I gave myself 4 days
Mm-hmm.
for this turkey. On Sunday, I'm going to unwrap it completely and then check to see if I can get the interior out. If I can't, then I'm starting with the cold water. I put it under running cold water to get that interior thing out, you know, the neck
Mm-hmm.
that's in the middle.
The neck and the bag of goodies.
Yeah, well, the bag of goodies is usually in that flap that's at the front.
Mm-hmm.
So I get that out and then I leave it in the fridge again, like covered for overnight. And then the next day is when I do all of the salting. And by then it's not quite defrosted, but it's better than it was. You know, that's why I'm starting so early on it, because it's just annoying as hell to have a frozen bird on
Yeah.
Monday and you need to.
Yeah.
I had to call Butterball one time to find out how to quick defrost it without killing it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I make mine in my convection oven. God, it turns out beautiful.
I'll bet.
nice. Oh, I want to say something about Butterball and turkeys. Do not brine a Butterball.
Oh,
Butterballs have already been brined and
Right.
then injected with water
I
and
didn't know that.
no, the Butterballs, the reason why they're so expensive is they've already been treated. And I personally don't like the treatment myself. This is just me. Though people have used Butterballs for years and it's been great. Mine is just the cheapest, you know, this year it's 47 cents a pound. I don't know
Right.
what
I
they're
saw that.
turkeys, but you know, I probably will buy one and stick it in the freezer and then maybe I'll use it again next year. But you know, that's just don't do it in the Butterball because they've already been treated.
Okay.
Are you having the same amount of people with the COVID problems?
The least amount of people I've ever had is 10. And that was a couple of years ago. I had 10 people. This year, I'm really thinking it's going to be people in my household
Yeah.
only. And I'll have leftovers and I'll take them over to your house, Carrie, or something,
We'll take them.
you know.
Well, that's what Stuart and I are going to do it and then package it for 2 of the other seniors that we know.
Right.
So everybody contributed, but I'm cooking it. So only one person is cooking.
Right.
And the one person, doesn't have it. So,
Right.
and then we're just gonna package dinners for the
I'm
other
thinking
people.
about doing that for my friend Chuck.
Right.
Because he wants me to go out to restaurants, and I'm just not.
Yeah.
Not. I have not been anywhere other than to Vaughn's parking lot. So
I have to tell you,
Like us.
I already told you, on Halloween, we wound up in Monrovia. And on Friday and Saturday nights, they're allowing them to shut down the streets in Monrovia and have very beautiful, physically dining. We sat at a table, we were about 12 feet away from anybody else. I felt very comfortable, very safe. I was so shocked because I hadn't done anything like that since this all began. But it was lovely. We had a great time.
and this smells absolutely delightful. And it's like jammy. It's jammy. That's the cranberries.
I'm
That's-
gonna do mine this weekend when I have time. Just put them sealed in a
a Tupperware.
jar in the fridge.
Yeah. I mean, it is basically just jam.
Yeah.
And jam stays forever. Dina, who are you gonna have?
What's that?
Who are you gonna have? Oh, you're going out to the desert.
Yeah, we're going camping. So it's just gonna be us, just the three of us.
That's nice.
Wait this long, wait a little bit longer, and then be back on you.
So,
Is that Ed?
Okay,
no, I think,
if I give up now, then it's on me to call them in the morning.
Yes, Charlie, I'll give you some.
anyway, so that's my Thanksgiving show. I hope that you enjoyed it. And
Lots of hints. What?
next week, I think I'm going to just make flourless chocolate cake because I can.
Sounds great.
Sweet. Desserts.
Good.
I will send you a recipe.
Bailey.
It's really a good recipe. It's really
Cool.
Really good. I can vouch for it.
so.
Does anybody else?
Guys, have a wonderful week. I hope everything goes well. Stay away from crowds.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
very
Matt,
much.
wear your mask.
Carol, were you gonna ask
I
something?
was gonna ask,
Wear a mask.
does anybody else make soup out of the carcass right after the meal?
Oh my
I
God.
do.
Yeah.
Carol has the world's best recipe, which I
Oh,
love.
okay.
And I was going to say, could you please email that along with it, Carol?
Yeah.
No,
I mean, that is to
I
die
throw the
for.
carcass, in a big pot or a crock pot or something overnight because I know the next day I'm not going to want to deal with it.
I
So
cook
I
it.
cook it
about-
overnight.
I cook it about 24, 26 hours.
Yep.
Broth is beautiful. You have to reduce it at the end, but it's just wonderful.
Oh, I'd love a different recipe. Yeah, I love to
please
do that.
send us the recipe. I would
Yeah.
love to have it.
Yeah.
It is to
Did I
die
email you
for.
that one?
What?
Kate, did I email you that recipe?
Would you please? I don't think you have.
Okay,
All right.
make sure and
Or
dig it.
at least I don't know where it is, so. Which is typical.
Yeah.
All
In fact,
right.
we're having it tonight.
So you guys have a wonderful week. I will see you with chocolate next week.
All
Okay,
right.
everybody
Thank
stay
you.
safe, please.
Bye.
Thank you, Kate. It was
Thank you.
fabulous.
It was. It was fun.
Mwah.
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 See
I
y'all.
love you, darling. I love you.
Our Santa is puff pastry,
Bye-bye.
really good. All right, love you guys. See
All right, we'll see you later.
you later.
Bye.